On the EW livestream today, they were using the fly around free cam, so we actually got to have some really cool looks at the new animals in the new New Zealand Reserve, releasing this Thursday on PC and early next year on console. But with this, I decided that I want to try to give you an idea what is going to be the best loadout to use for this brand new New Zealand Reserve once it is out. And I'm actually going to give you a few different ones, but it is all going to be based around basically carrying everything you're going to be needing. An interesting thing with this New Zealand Reserve is actually the animal classes. There's going to be no big animals on the map, so no class 7, 8 and 9, and there's not going to be a class 2 animal either. All of this kind of info you can find on the spreadsheet on Discord as well. There's a link for that down in the description below. You can also see what kind of collars to use, what kind of weights you're looking for diamonds, and all the rare fur variations and such for all the animals. Great job, Aaron. Anyway, let's get into the different animals. Right here we have the chamois, or the chamois, as a lot of people are calling them. But this animal right here is a class 3 animal. Basically ranking it just a tiny bit smaller than blacktails and whitetails and all of the other stuff like fallow deer too. But this does mean that you cannot shoot this with the new 303 rifle if you want to get the full integrity on these animals. The Sika deer, as you see right here, is a class 4 animal, so that is actually going to be good for the new rifle as well as the good old 30-06 M1 and all those kind of stuff. They actually look really, really good, and I can't wait to get one of these in my own lodge at some point. The feral goat is going to be the same size as the chamois, class 3 animal, and they come in a lot of different variations. I've actually been really impressed with these ones so far. And last but definitely not least of the new animals, we have the feral pig, which comes in a lot of different fur variations, spotted, all kinds of black, gold and such as well. As I said, everything is going to be in the spreadsheet on the Discord as well. But taking a look at these fellas, they are class 4 animals, so it's the same size as the Sika and the fallow deer. I'm not going to go through and show you the fallow deer and the red deer and the European rabbit and the turkey because we already know those. But European rabbit and turkey obviously is a class 1 animal, red deer class 6, and the fallow deer is a class 4 animal. And the loadout that I'm going to be rocking is going to be looking something like this. Don't be fooled about my total carrying capacity. This is only because I'm currently in the process of setting up for the grade 1 grind on Layton. But these are the 3 weapons if you want to be running a 3 weapon loadout, which I think I might. However, I'm going to go over a 2 weapon loadout in a moment as well. But if you are looking at it like this, if you're bringing the M1 Ivanik, you could be bringing the 303 as well. They have exactly the same weight, so it doesn't matter. This is a placeholder for either the M1 or the 303. I cannot fit the 30-06 in this loadout if I want to be bringing this as it looks here. I have the M1, I have the Ranger 243, and I have the 22 for the small game. I have decided to bring both scopes. I am a big fan of the Hyperion scope and the Argo scope if I need to take some insane long range shots. I do not do a lot of bow hunting. I probably should start to look into it, especially with the patch coming out where it's going to be decreasing the hunting pressure that you're applying. I'm obviously going to be using polymer tip for any of the weapons that I'll be bringing. Always go for the maximum penetration. Of the lures, I have decided to not bring any turkey lures, but I have brought the antler rattler, the red deer, and the wild boar caller, which should be covering the callable species. Which to my understanding is the wild boar collar for the feral pig, the antler rattler for the fallow deer, and the red deer collar for the Sika and red deer. This, of course, I haven't been on the beta myself, but this is what I can see from the spreadsheet that has been updated by Aaron. You can find that in the Discord if you want to have a quick overview of all the animals and what guns and such to use. Check it out, Discord link down below. Also, I am bringing a tripod stand. This is as well a placeholder because in the beginning I'm going to be running around with a lot of tents rather than tripods. However, they weigh exactly the same thing. So if you're into stand hunting, you bring a tripod or a tree stand. If you're starting out, you want to be carrying the tents, you carry a tent instead, and it will fit in this loadout. You can fit 1 pair of binos, and I've decided to also go with the first aid kit. But yeah, this is probably the loadout you're gonna be seeing me use on the new reserve once it drops. And once again, I have the pack mule perk right now because I'm running around on my Leighton Lake trying to set up a lot of tripod stands and tents for the grade 1 grind. And another loadout, and this is probably a loadout I think a lot of people are gonna end up with eventually. This map is ideal for a 3-7 rifle, which the only one that we have of those that I can really relate to is the Solikin MN 1890. It's a super powerful gun, and you can shoot all of the animals with just that and the 22 on the New Zealand map and get full integrity on everything. And it's not even like it's gonna be a struggle to take down the red deer if you are using the Solikin. This loadout does actually give you the option to carry around the bow as well. You only need the 2 smallest of the arrows. You don't need the 600s. There's nothing for those to shoot at out there anyway. But if you do bring that, you once again have the ability to bring a tripod, tree stand, or a tent, as well as 4 collars for everything but turkeys, first aid kit, and the binos that you're gonna be using as well. Obviously, this is a loadout you should be carrying around if you're a lot into bow hunting and such. It's not going to be something that I'm going to be using too much myself, I believe, but it is definitely a very viable option. And if you are much more into just hunting need zones and you just want to go down there, place your tripod, and do not care about the collars, you eventually, by removing the 3 collars and the first aid kit, you will be able to carry the sight, the high-tech sight for the bow as well. Not something that I'm going to be running around with much myself, but at least this is a very viable option as well. And the only real downside to that is that you're going to have to choose between having 2 scopes or having a first aid kit if you want to be bringing everything that I've just shown you. And I think I'm going to be bringing the first aid kit, simply because I'm going to be jumping up and down a whole lot.